Let's make a 9 loop puff stitch. Puff stitches come in different sizes. You must refer to your pattern to see how many loops they want in that particular puff. This will be a 9 loop puff, and the number refers to the number of loops you end up with on your hook as you're picking up loops from the work. So to make a puff stitch, we do a yarn over, we go to the next designated spot and pull up a loop. I've done that once and now I have 3 loops. If I do it again, it gives me 2 more loops, that's 5. If I do it again, that's 2 more loops, that's 7. If I do it again, that's 2 more loops, and that's 9. So that's 9 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 loop puff stitch. To complete the puff, you yarn over and you pull through all of the loops on your hook, but that's not finished. We now need to make a closing chain to keep them all together, and there we have a beautiful 9 loop puff stitch. Nice and soft and squishy. Now, these were double crochet over here, and my puff is not quite as tall as them. If you make it too tall, it will collapse and it will open up and you'll be able to see inside of it. So if you want a nice neat puff, don't make it too tall. Let's do another one. Yarn over, pull up a loop 4 times, once, twice, 3 times and 4. Yarn over, pull through all of the loops on your hook. This is a chain here, which is why it's slowing me down. And then a closing chain to hold them all together. It just pulls them together. Nice and neat. Beautiful little puff stitch. I'll show you what happens when you go too high. Let's make a 9 loop puff over here. Yarn over, I'm going to pull really high loops. Once, twice, 3 times and 4 for a total of 9 loops, because there's 2 loops from each yarn over pull up plus the original loop from the hook, so that's why you've got 9. Now I'm going to pull through all of that and close it, but it is quite tall and it's going to compress, which is what happens to people, and then it's going to start, the fibers are going to relax too much, and then the puff will open with use and it will look like this, and nobody wants that. We want this. Even if I pull these apart, they keep going back into position because they're nice and snug and cinched together, whereas this one is always going to look a bit untidy and open up. So if you're wondering why your puffs don't look tidy, it could be because you're making them too loose. Tighten up a little bit, make them a little bit shorter. Here we go, do it again, shorter this time. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yarn over, pull through all, including that silly chain I made, which I didn't need. Closing chain to hold them together, and there it is. Really lovely and neat. Now, we do often get asked why the hook snags inside puffs. Look, it could be any number of things. It could be your tension, it could be your technique. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. I have only one technique. I use the hook the way it was designed, completely flat, thumb on it, facing me the way it was designed, yarn over, and I pull through all in one easy motion. I rarely snag. I'm not saying I never snag. I do. Sometimes I lose concentration and I twist the hook and it snags. Let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, and whoops, where'd it go? 4. Now, if you move, and like if I do it this way, it's going to snag. If I do it this way, it's going to snag. My hook was designed like this, and it will go through, usually first go, as long as I haven't mucked around with it too much, which I did at that last one. But here are my nice, beautiful 9 loop puffs. Go and have a bit of a play. Practice makes perfect, and even then you're never perfect. So forgive yourself and be kind to yourself. Sometimes they'll come out absolutely spot on like these, and sometimes they'll get a little bit crushed. But the trick is, don't make them too tall or they will collapse. Have fun.